Hey everyone, we're gonna try this outside and see what happens. It is, I don't know, 7:30 or so on Wednesday night in Naples, Florida, and it's actually raining outside, but I just got these really cute curtains up for kind of a little bit of privacy on my deck, and it's just so nice out here. So I don't know if you can hear the thunder or not, but it's raining. It's raining pretty good. But I'm in some privacy. Um, so I have my book, my Bible, and then the book I write in out here today. Um, I read my devotional this morning, and it really made me think. And it's about women and our roles. And so I just wanted to read this to you because I feel like with where the world is today, and I feel like I say that like every time I do this, where the world is today, this just really caught me. And I've had this book for several years, and it goes through day by day. So we're doing July 13th, which is today. And it's by Joyce Meyer. So let's give her some credit for this. The Confident Woman by Joyce Meyer. And I read my daily devotional from this book. So the title of this is The Real Culprit. And the dragon stood before the woman who was ready to give birth, to devour her child as soon as it was born. She bore a male child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. Then the woman fled into the wilderness. And this is Revelation chapter 12, verses 4 through 6. So this is what Joyce writes about this. It is time for the truth to be told, and for people to realize the attack on women is actually from Satan himself. He works through people, but he is the source of the problem, and his handiwork litters our history. Women have been habitually discriminated against contrary to God's will. In Genesis, the Bible simply states, "So God created man in his own image. In the image and likeness of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. And God blessed them and said to them, 'Be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth, and subdue it, using all its vast resources in the service of God and man, and have dominion over the sea, the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, and over every living creature that moves upon the earth.'" That's Genesis chapter 1, verses 27 through 28. God spoke to the man and woman equally, giving them both rights and authority and telling both of them to live fruitful lives. Any message that diminishes a woman's position and value as established in creation must be rejected as a satanic lie. So, right now in history, we are going through the overturn of Roe versus Wade. And the Supreme Court overturned this, letting each of the states decide if abortion is going to be legal in that state or not, and up to the laws around it. So up to how long you can have an abortion, and all of that was just given to the states instead of the federal government. And I've been hearing a lot about, because of this, now women do not have rights. And I just find this all amazing. I mean, for myself, I'm 49 years old. I've raised 3 children, been married, divorced. I own my own home. I own my own car. I have a full-time job. I live by myself with my 2 dogs. And I just got up and changed my whole life a year ago and moved to Florida. Seems like I have a lot of rights. Seems like I can do a lot of things. You know? So when I hear things like that, it's people telling these women lies. You know, okay, I'm from Missouri. I'm from Nebraska, but the last 20 years been in Missouri. And my kids are in Missouri. So you can't have an abortion in Missouri. Okay. Go to Illinois. Go to Nebraska. Go to Iowa. You know? Go to a state that's close to you. If that's what you want. I'm not for abortion. I'm not saying I'm for abortion. I'm just saying it's not like you don't have rights. You do. You do have rights. And I just find it amazing that people can twist things around like that. And I think it's what makes our world so demonic. And I hate that for our world. I hate that for us. I hate that for our children. You know? We try so hard to do the best for our kids, and then we see this whole world just get turned upside down. And let's just say here, I'm just going to go on a little tantrum with this and say, no, children should not learn about sex ed, young children. And no, they should not be taught that there are more than 2 genders, because there's not. This is all stuff that people make up as we go. That is not how God created us. God created a man, and he took a rib out of the man to make the woman as his helper, as his companion to be in this life with. That's what we are supposed to do. A man and a woman. We're so different, and that's just so fascinating to be different. But we're also alike because we're human. And this world right now is just so scary. And I just thought that this devotional was perfect for, not today necessarily, but just for this time in our lives. And we're making everything so complicated when it's supposed to be so simple. And so those were just the thoughts that I just have been having. And I very much, a man is made one way. I always do that, don't I? I always start saying something and then I stop and say something else. I notice I do that. So anyway, but that's how I tell stories. So a man is made one way, right? He's a little bit bigger, usually a little bit stronger. He can physically do more than an average woman can do. Some women can, and some men can't. We all know that. But just our average and what we were made for. Men need to be taken care of in such a way by a woman to be nurtured and loved and to know that he's appreciated, because men are out there And I'm talking from the beginning of time. I'm not talking about necessarily right now, although I think it all is right now. But I'm talking about from way back. Men's jobs were to go out and hunt and fish and provide for his family. And men still do that. They still go to their jobs so they can provide for their family. And women do too. And I'm not saying that we don't. But when you're in a relationship and you have a family, even though times have changed and even though we think a little bit differently than we did back in those hunting days, men still need to be the protector of his family. That's why he's bigger. That's why he's stronger. That's why he's the one that went out hunting and fishing. And even though the roles are changing, men still need that. And that's what we as women have to remember. Our femininity is so amazing and so wonderful that when you put it together and you have a man and a woman who sincerely love each other and want to take care of each other, you take care of each other in different ways. And you have to recognize those ways. We were built equally, but differently. And I think that that's amazing. And I love my role as a woman. I do. And I'm good with the man out chopping the wood and doing the man stuff, and I'll make sure your house looks nice, and I don't have kids anymore, but I always made sure that everybody was fed at the end of the day and things like that. Well, my husband did that too, but you know what I'm saying? We have these roles, and I don't know why we have to mess everything up and why we just can't make it simple. Women, we try so hard to be in control all the time, and we're taking away men's masculinity. And then we say, why can't I find a man? Why can't I find a man that opens the door and will protect me and will take me out to eat and do this and do that and da da da? Well, what are you doing for him? What are you doing? Maybe I'm a little old-fashioned in that way. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life and my marriage and all that good stuff. And now I'm older and I can see it all come together. And I can see that that's really the roles. But you can't play them if you don't enjoy them. So I do not have a man in my life right now. Someday I hope to. I think I've maybe mentioned that once or twice. So I do read a prayer every day because, well, this comes strictly out of the Bible, but I say it as a prayer. And there's so many great women in the Bible. And actually, as I was thinking about doing this, I was thinking about maybe I should go through and talk about some of these great women, really kind of research them and do these little videos, YouTube videos on these women, because they are fascinating and it gets us back kind of to where we're supposed to be. Every woman should read Proverbs 31. It talks about a woman. It talks about the woman's roles. And I have taken bits and pieces out of that and made it into a prayer for myself. So this is Proverbs chapter 31. It's verses 10 through 12, and then verses 25 and 26. So who can find a wife of noble character? She is far more precious than jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will not lack anything good. She rewards him with good and not evil all the days of her life. Strength and honor are her clothing. She can laugh at the time to come. Her mouth speaks wisdom, and loving instruction is on her tongue. And I feel like that's exactly what a lot of men want in a woman. Godly men want for a godly woman. Noble character. He needs to be able to trust us, and we need to be able to trust him. And please do not think that I am picking on women here, because I have been deceived by many men. She is more precious than jewels. He's somebody, a man should make us feel beautiful and protect us. And you know how we take care of our diamonds. That's how a man should be taking care of us. The heart of her husband trusts her, and he will not lack anything good. We're always going to be there for him, no matter what. The good, the bad, and the ugly. She rewards him with good and not evil. You have to take those evil words, those mean words, and we all do it. But if we think about it, then we do it less. And the more we're in the Word, and the more we're giving our lives to God, then the less we are doing evil things, things of the world thinks is okay. Because it's not, and we're really falling. Strength and honor are her clothing. A woman, we might not be as strong physically as a lot of men, but we're strong. Our hearts are strong. Our minds are strong. And we have to know how to talk to a man and how to take care of him. She can laugh at the time to come because she knows, she has confidence in herself. She knows that she is building a life not only for herself, but for her husband and children. And her mouth speaks wisdom. When you talk to your husband, you should only be saying wise things to build him up. And yes, I know, we all fall, and I've fallen a gazillion times. But I hope, and I pray, every day, that God gives me another chance to make it right. With the right man. No more phonies. No more scammers. So it goes both ways. But I think if we look at our roles as men and as women, then we can clearly see we are very equal to men. We're very different, but we're very equal. And God always intended us to be equal to man. Lord, I bless you that you have given me dominion and authority to exercise in my life, and I reject every lie that says otherwise. I will be fruitful for your glory. Amen. All right, guys. Have a blessed night. Yes, I see my dogs walking back there, like making faces. This is my life. You guys have a blessed night. Have the blessed next couple of days. And let's see what I come up with for Saturday. I'm kind of thinking maybe Ruth. I love Ruth. I think that would be fun to do. If you have an opinion on that, please let me know. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.